Okay, in this video, we're going to shift gears from volume to surface area, and specifically surface area of prisms. So if you imagine a 3D shape is unfolded and laid flat, like I have in the animation here, the result is something called a net, which is like a blueprint for a 3D object. So it's a flat 2D representation of our 3D shape. And for prisms, the net will have two congruent bases. The top and the bottom will be identical, and the rest of the shapes will be rectangles, and we call those lateral faces. So again, we're just imagining taking our shapes and unfolding them flat. So in the animation here, we're looking for the total area of all of the green parts here. All of that green two-dimensional space is what we're looking for. So let's take a look a little more in depth at a couple of prisms here unfolded and laid flat. So what we have are the lateral faces. Those are the faces that are not the bases. So all of the blue rectangles in our diagrams here, those are the lateral faces. So the lateral area is the sum of all of those lateral faces. And then the total surface area is the sum of all the faces on our solid. So that's the two bases plus the lateral area. So notice that both of these prisms have the same basic parts. So what we're looking for in a prism are the two bases that are identical, and then we're going to have the lateral area, which is one long rectangle if you think about it. That's how we're going to approach our prisms. Is we're not going to find the area of all of these lateral faces individually. We're going to think of them as one giant rectangle. So if we can find the area of that rectangle, which is base times height, and the height of this rectangle is actually the height of the prism, and then the length or the base of this rectangle is going to be the perimeter. So think about the distance all the way around your prism's base. And that's how long our unfolded rectangle is. That's how long each one of these rectangles is if you unfold it and lay it flat. So this is going to be the perimeter of the base. So to find that lateral area, we're going to use the perimeter of our base. So this is a little more in depth here. Here's our formula. Again, the lateral area is like a long rectangle where the base is the perimeter of the prism. And the height is the height of the prism. So again, we can think of our lateral area here as the perimeter times the height. So again, that perimeter here is in red. That's going to be the length of that long rectangle. We multiply that by the height. And then we have the two bases that we need to add on. So total surface area is going to be the lateral area plus two bases, or perimeter of the base times height plus 2 times the bases. So a little more complex, but not that complex if you really think about how we're putting this together. So here's an example of a rectangular prism, and then I went ahead and unfolded it to kind of show you the net here. And so in red, I'm going to be calculating this lateral surface area here, all of these rectangle sides. So I'm trying to find the area of this big rectangle here. So I need to know the base and I need to know the height. So the base of this rectangle right here is going to be the perimeter of the base of my prism. So that is two 5.5 inch sections and two 3-inch sections. So that's what I did right here. I've got two 5.5 inch sections and two 3-inch sections. So I went ahead and calculated that. And then I was going to multiply that by the height, which is the 15.1 inches here. So base times height, and that's what I got here. 17 times 15.1 is the 256.7 square inches. So this is the lateral surface area, 256.7, got that backwards, 256.7 square inches is the lateral surface area. Then all we have left is the two bases, base here and base here. So then the area of the base is 5.5 times 3, and then I have two of them, so I doubled that, and that gives me my base area of 33 inches squared. And then all I have to do is add those two together. So you can see the 256.7, and then I've got a typo here. That should be 256.7 and 33. So then that gives me the 289.7 square inches there. So that was typed wrong, but I did add these two numbers correctly there. So our total surface area is 289.7 square inches. So again, focusing on the lateral area and then the area of the two bases when it comes to prisms. Lateral area is going to be one long rectangle and the two bases. So let's look at this prism. This is a triangular prism, and again, I'm going to be focusing on the lateral surface area and then the area of the two bases. So first, I'm going to focus on the lateral surface area, so that's the perimeter of the base times the height of the prism. And the perimeter of my base, which is the triangle, is 8 plus 15 plus 17. And then I'm going to multiply that by the height of the prism, which is 20. So 8 plus 15 plus 17 gives me 40 times 20. So if I unfold this shape, I'm going to have a 40 by 20 rectangle, and that gives me 800 square meters. We'll make sure we're labeling that squared because we're talking about area now. And then my two bases. Well, the bases are these triangles again. So the area of the base is going to be 2 times area of the base, which is 1/2 times 8 times 15. And 1/2 times 8 times 15 is 60. So I have two of those. 2 times 60 is 120 square meters. And then my total surface area is going to be the lateral surface area plus the area of the two bases. So I just need to add these two together. 800 square meters plus 120 square meters is a total of 920 square meters of surface area. And that's surface area of prisms. Really, the basic idea there is two bases plus the lateral surface area, the area of all the rectangles on the sides.